that story. Ken, what can you tell us about these notes Manafort wrote?
Chris, our sources are telling us that they're cryptic notes, of one or two words, certainly not a verbatim transcript or even a set of very good notes. Actually, very hard to discern and hard to understand. But some of the words included RNC, a reference to Republican National Committee, and some reference to political contributions. Now, earlier in the day, Chris, our sources were saying that the word donations was explicitly in quotes in the notes. We're now being told that that word was not in there. It was a different word or set of words, but the message was clear. Actually, it's really not clear because investigators are saying that they are not sure exactly what is going on here, but they have an obligation to and are very interested in looking into the question of whether the subject of donations from Russians to the Trump campaign was even broached at this meeting from either side. That's a hugely important issue because, as you just said, that would be illegal. It would be illegal for the Russians to donate. It would be illegal for any political campaign to accept foreign donations. And so that has got certainly the congressional committees very interested in getting to the bottom of that.
One small point that seems relevant to me here, and this is independent of what the content of the notes are, is that there has been a story told by the folks in the Trump circle, Don Jr., the President of the United States, and others, that this was a nothing meeting, it was a bust. They kept having to admit there were more and more people there as they went on. And one of the main issues that Paul Manafort was on his phone. It appears that he was taking notes at the meeting, right?
That's exactly right. And I agree with you. That is a significant thing because it's been portrayed that he was on his phone sort of paying attention to other things. And he may well have been, looking at email, but we know that he was also taking these notes, which have now been turned over to the House and the Senate and the special counsel, Robert Mueller. So you're absolutely right. He was paying enough of attention to take some notes, and those notes are now under scrutiny.
My understanding is that when this story first broke and it was sort of shaken loose by reporters and then Donald at the New York Times, particularly, and Donald Jr. released the email to sort of get out ahead of the story, that Mueller's team didn't know about this meeting. The reporting now suggests how important is this meeting to their investigation?
It's looming really large, Chris. It's not clear whether Mueller's team knew about the meeting. I did see some reporting to that effect. I don't think that question is fully answered. But what we know now is that they are heavily scrutinizing this meeting. As you know, NBC News reported a couple of days ago that one of the things they're looking at is why President Trump crafted this highly misleading statement on his son's behalf, suggesting that the meeting was just about Russian adoptions and it was kind of short and nothing to see here. This was before the emails were released. In fact, it was a meeting carried out with an explicit promise, as you said, of help from the Russian government. And there's a lot that we don't know about it. And even if it was, as the Russians involved assert, really a meeting about the Magnitsky Act and this really sort of esoteric set of sanctions and nothing specifically was offered, the fact that Donald Trump Jr. accepted the meeting with a promise of help and incriminating information about Hillary Clinton is a red flag for investigators who are wondering what else he accepted, because it showed that they were willing to play ball with the Russians.
All right, Ken Delaney, thank you.